Assalamu alaikum viewers, and welcome to the Entrepreneur Show, the show where we have the privilege to meet successful businessmen and embark on a journey. And I always say that, and because it's true, we embark on a journey with them through their life and how they became so successful. Without further ado, I'll just move on to my guest today. And we have with us Mr. RUNU. Mr. RUNU, welcome to the show.
Brother, lovely to see you.
As I say to everyone, it's a pleasure to have you here, and obviously with a busy schedule with so many businesses, and we'll mention a few, that you've come to join us here today. So thank you very much again.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Now, Mr. RUNU is an accountant, right? And is involved in the finance sector, also real estate, also a trustee in a charity, I believe.
Yes. I'm a part of a three-group trustee, so
Okay.
it's three people of us running a charity organisation as well. Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, since I mean the show is called The Entrepreneur, and which means basically someone who started off from the bottom, if you like, and then made a lot of money and became very successful. And so we'd like to know, and for our viewers, and it will be a benefit for everyone, and I'm sure you are an inspiration to many. How did you tell us from the beginning? How did you get into business, and how did you become so successful? But from the beginning, if you like.
Okay. When I finished, at the age of 21, I finished my degree, and I never had in my mind I was going to run a business or anything. I always wanted to be successful.
Yep.
But I think at that time I wanted to be successful as an employed person.
Okay.
I actually wanted to be a stockbroker. Unfortunately, things didn't work out in the right way, and I ended up working for an accountancy firm.
Okay. So tell us a bit about that, the accountancy firm.
Accountancy firm. So, when I joined the accountancy firm, the work was interesting in the beginning. It started to get harder,
Right.
stressful, and there was a lot of responsibility attached with it.
Okay.
It came to the point where one day I actually sat down and I looked at the responsibility and I looked at the salary, and I just turned around and I thought to myself, if I'm going to work this hard, I'm going to do it for myself. Which is when then I spoke to several friends of mine for advice and mentoring. I think it's very important for any new business person to have mentoring.
Yeah.
And from advice and a bit of mentoring from friends, I embarked on starting my own journey as an accountant, working for myself.
Okay. So basically, you got help from close people, right?
Of course, yes.
People who are close to you.
Close friends who you can ask advice. You're making a life-changing decision here.
Would you give them some credit for your success today?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I would give credit to friends who advised me.
Okay.
Local community who provide the custom.
Okay.
Without customers, you are not going to succeed.
Absolutely not. No, of course.
The word of mouth that was out in the community, which again was positive, again, is another thing which you need in order to succeed in business.
So you build the trust of the community.
Built a trust, and the community, alhamdulillah, and I thank you very much to the community for this. The community have helped me grow. So it's a two-way thing where an entrepreneur cannot be an entrepreneur by himself.
Okay.
He needs...
Absolutely, you need support.
Right? He needs support,
some kind of
activities on the side.
Advice.
That will help him grow.
Yeah.
And I think the best support service you can have on the side, which doesn't cost any money, is word of mouth, is a good reputation, is...
So it's tit for tat, basically. Look, the community has helped you, and we know how much you help the community in return.
Yes, right? I would hope I did help the community, and I hope I have helped the community prosper, and I think...
So you gave back what was due, community is such an important part of everybody's life, right? Yes. I think, and as you can see from yourself, how much it helped you. But the thing is, you've got to be that right individual, right? Yeah. To be trusted by the community. It's like when people see that a member of the family is credible, right? And eligible, is that the right word?
Yeah, I'm just interrupt there quickly.
Yeah, eligible. Sorry, yes.
For a community.
Yeah.
To provide you with custom, etc. And then there's a few key things. If you follow these
Please
key
let us know, yeah.
rules, a community will always. I mean, you've sort of ticked most of the boxes straight away. And one of them is being honest.
Yep.
You know.
Okay.
Understanding a client or a customer and giving them the best direction to take, whether you make money or not. I think that's a key element, whether you make money or not. And then the final thing, always, this is one thing that I've always categorized very highly, which is always remember when a customer comes to you. Some people who come to us in the Bengali community especially come to us because they believe that we are more educated, more knowledgeable of society and how everything works. So they come to us with a faith. And now what we need to give back to this customer is we need to understand that some people have come to us with, worked very hard and saved every penny they have struggled with food, with living accommodation, with clothes, in order to make their life better.
Yeah.
And then they come to us, and then we need to understand this, where in fact is where we can help this client, and we should try and help this client a lot. Simple thing as fees. When we're charging a client a fee, and we see a client is going to be unable to pay a fee, we need to fluctuate a bit, and we need to understand, because what happens then is you make this client happy. This client will then go and advertise you to someone else.
Absolutely.
Because what you've done here now is you've understood the client's position, and you've repaid the client in exactly the same way.
That's great, because you put the client first.
Yes,
right?
yes.
When they come with you and they're in a difficult position, you are looking and taking into consideration the client's benefit.
Absolutely, first and foremost. And in return, what the client will give you back, what you could never buy.
So, viewers, this is a very important part of business. And especially, we had a guest a few weeks ago as well, and he said the same thing, and how you benefit the community, the community benefits you, and it's a two-way thing. Do you understand? So success is, again, it's a collective thing, if you like.
It's a collective
thing,
yes.
Very, very interesting. Right. So we'll move into onto the. Let's see what you've mentioned. I've mentioned a few of the things that you're an accountant. The finance sector, for example. Tell us a little bit about the finance sector and how did you get into that?
The finance sector, generally, as an accountant, finance almost comes hand in hand with an accountant. Most of our clients will always be looking at finance solutions. Initially, what we did is we would refer these clients to an organization who provide financial services.
Can you point out a few of these?
A few of them. The most popular one was mortgages. That was, especially when I started off in business, there was a space where a lot of the underprivileged communities were trying to move themselves forward and buy properties to try and make their lives better. Something really simple, and it might not have no relevance to this, but something like a right to buy from the council. It's made people millionaires.
Right. Look, I know that you've helped the Bengali community a lot, because a lot of these people, they didn't know how to acquire a mortgage.
That's right. Yes.
Right. Some of these people are uneducated, and they've got a bit of money, and they want to invest in properties and stuff like that. And as we know, bricks and mortar is something that never really fails. So you've helped them without the right kind of knowledge. People cannot acquire these properties, and you've got the knowledge, you've got the education, and hence you've helped them, right?
We directed them, and we made people feel that it's possible. Everything is possible to do it. It's all possible to do. So we've made a lot of people's dreams come true. I still have people I bump into the street sometimes, and they are so rewarding towards me. which I feel very privileged about.
Honoured.
And honoured, you know, and that's one of I think that's one of the best presents
it's a good feeling, isn't
you can
it?
get from anybody.
It's a good feeling,
It's a good feeling, yeah.
Right. Okay, so we mentioned a little bit of the financial sector. Sorry, I'm getting a bit tongue-tied today. Real estate, you probably covered that a little bit, haven't you?
Yeah, I think we've
we'll go into the organization part of it. Tell us a little bit about your personal life. Now, when I say personal life, I mean, look, businessmen are busy all the time, right?
Yeah.
However, you know, they have families as well, right? Most do.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Now, you've got families, you have kids. Tell us a little bit about your wife and children. Okay.
Alhamdulillah, my wife and children.
Much, yeah.
No, Alhamdulillah, my wife and children, very pleasant. I'm very happy. They are very happy.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids. I have 1 boy, 1 girl.
Wow, very simple, huh?
Yeah, I like to keep my life simple. Work is so complicated as it is. So you'd like to keep the home simple. And it is difficult. I'll be honest with you, it's pretty difficult to to balance the time between home and work.
Do you put them first?
Of course. I mean, you have to put the family first. But then it's a scale because
Balancing.
the work runs the family. So it's a balance.
They have to understand.
It's a balance, and I guess for most families they do understand. Now, if I'm working all the time and then my family are living in squalid conditions, then of course my family have every right to question what I do all day. But vice versa, you know.
As long as you don't deprive them of quality time.
Yes.
And obviously the perks of.
I mean, I've had to move. My offices were based in central London. I moved closer to home, so I can get home in 5-10 minutes after work and get to work. So I can spend some decent time at home.
So you thought about that? You thought about what you
that's right.
Location of your office.
That's right.
You know,
As a rule of thumb, I try to pick up. I mean, my daughter now, my son's older, much older now. Yeah. I like to pick up my daughter every now and then from school as well. So just to do these kind of things.
So quickly just mention how old are the kids?
My son is 17 and my daughter is 10 years old.
So 17, he'd be in college.
He's in college now at the moment.
Fantastic.
Yes, he's in college. Yes.
Now they say that every businessman, is probably a cliche, but every successful businessman or every successful man has the right woman behind. Tell us a little bit about your wife. How does she support you in this? Because they can be nagging sometimes. But,
yes. I've been blessed. I've been blessed. Alhamdulillah, I have an amazing partner. Wow. She's brought up 2 amazing children.
Fantastic.
And I'm still with her, so things are good. Things are good. Yes, alhamdulillah. Yes.
You're a happy man. So you know all this. It basically you know the whole circle. It's a combination of everything, right? Yes. You know, family, business, trust, honesty, all these things. So okay. So we learned a little bit about your personal life. Now, before we go into, you mentioned that you've got a trust. You're a trustee in a charity organization. How's that working out for you?
Okay, about 4 or 5 years ago, about 4 or 4 years ago.
Tell me that. Sorry, just to cut you. What was the intention of going into charity?
Okay, the intention. I have always wanted to do something for the Bengali people, underprivileged Bengali people in our country. And as I've always wanted to do it, it's still in the back of my head.
So what's the charity organization called?
The charity organization is called Khalik Foundation.
Khalik Foundation. For any particular reason? Khalik Foundation?
It's actually in the name of, I'm a member in the charity with 2 other female members. Okay. Both the other members are related to some prominent members in Bangladesh. And they had the same aim as me.
Right. So Khalik would be because is it just a?
It's one of the trustees. It's her father's name.
Oh, okay, yeah, I thought so. Yes.
So it's her father's name. So as it's called Khalik Foundation, and one of the trustees. I mean, she's a senior consultant working in the city, and we've joined together and we want to provide facilities in Bangladesh to empower women.
Okay, so this charity is about empowering women.
Yes, empowering women and at the same time as empowering women, educating their children. So what we are doing is we're not trying to, I mean, we're not going to go into building houses. I think there's plenty of organizations doing that, providing sanitation. I think there's plenty of organizations providing all of these kind of things. What we are trying to do is empower women to increase the education within women. And I'll give you a basic fact after this, actually, to show how these things have changed, which we don't look at. Empower women, and at the same time as empowering women, where we are educating women, teaching them work skills, and then trying to allocate these experienced women into full-time jobs in Bangladesh. That's what we're trying to do. We are also in talks with organizations where garments will be produced in Bangladesh. This is still early stages. Garments will be produced in Bangladesh by these people who we have trained up, and then these garments will be sold by UK retailers. So these are all things in motion at the moment. So this is what we're doing, and at the same time as while we're training these women, their children will be in a creche right next door, also being educated. So they won't be running around in the streets.
No, that's fantastic. That's again benefiting humanity. Right? Obviously, charities mostly about that. So now going back to business again, have you taken any risks in business? No risk, no gain, they say. Now, have you taken any risk? What were the risks, and how did you overcome them?
Risks, yes. Risks, every businessman will tell you. Risks is part and parcel of an entrepreneur.
So you're going into a business knowing that there will be
a risk,
but you kind of
balance it out. That's right.
Calculate it as well, right?
You take calculated
the ratio of the.
Yes, right. I mean, as you go further in your life in business, the risks are more calculated, and they're.
Okay, tell us a little bit about a risk that you've taken. Just quickly mention.
I have no partners in my business. None of my businesses, I have no partners.
So by yourself.
And this is it's a rule of thumb I have. It's one of the biggest risks there is. But it's a rule of thumb I have.
Is it the biggest risk to have partners or not to have partners?
Not to have a partner. Not to have a partner. But then it can work out very well as well. And it also avoids a lot of problems as well.
I'm sure
avoids many problems. Now, an example where apart from this, I've also been in the event catering trade. I've also been in the building trade. Now, I'm not a builder, and I've had a building company. Again, with no partner.
How did you manage that?
I had to learn. I learned a few basic elements of it, and most of the work we did was contracted out work. It was contracted out work. Fortunately, because of my contracts and the other lines of business I have, I was able to negotiate contracts with very large UK-based building suppliers. And when I say very large, I mean these are people who have warehouses on most high streets. So I was able to negotiate contracts with these people. Two big firms.
That must be because of the links that you
because of the contacts I've had through business and through my initial work.
So once you're in the field, I mean, doors open up, don't they?
Doors open up, that's right, yes. So by having this, in fact, I mean, I sat down one day and I realized that it's a reputable business now. We have high indemnity now. Now we have these contracts, and I don't really have the practical experience to take this to another stage without.
So that was a risk that you take.
That was a massive risk.
You didn't know anything about it.
No. I mean, the risk factor was I had to sell the company. I had to sell the company. Fortunately, it was a good sale. But I had to do.
But you took the steps at the right time.
That's basically. Right. Yeah. And I had the same problem with my wedding events company. Again, I had no partner. And it was either take a partner or sell the company. So those are one of the risks.
Again, like I say to many, I could speak to you forever and ever, and I could hear you forever and ever, and it's very, very interesting and definitely learning stuff. Future plans. What do you have, if you have any? I'm sure you do. Tell us a little bit about future plans. We haven't got much time, but quickly, if you just.
I actually started my future plans 3 years ago. My future plans are, which I've already started, it's to narrow the businesses down to the core business, which is accountancy, and slowly move into the property development. business.
Okay.
It's a business I've always been keen on. It's a business I have experience in.
A
And it's
lot of
business I've
people
dealt
talk about
with.
the property development
Yes.
business. Quickly tell us why, just for the benefit of our viewers, why the property development
See,
business?
property development is there's property development in different levels.
Okay.
If we say
Very lucrative, we know.
It's
Yeah.
very lucrative. I mean, now the different parts is when you're doing small units, you buy a unit, you renovate it, you sell it, you make a small percentage of a profit.
Yeah.
With partners or yourself, you do it. And then the second element is where you buy a larger, let's say a larger property,
Yeah.
a larger building, you convert it into single units, and then you sell them as single units. And then you have the third one, which is a larger one, where you try and buy an office block.
Wow.
And
okay, well, look.
then convert
yeah,
this.
Yeah. So the future plans are basically property development. I wish I could speak to you much more about that, but I've got my producer in my ear saying, look, this is how many minutes we got left. Look, now we talked about future plans. Any tips? Any tips for upcoming businessmen? What kind of advice would you give them? Very quickly, in 30 seconds.
Very quickly, 30 seconds. Advice to upcoming entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs, is find yourself a mentor. Very, very important.
Yeah.
Find yourself a mentor, a successful businessman.
Someone you can trust as
that
well.
you can look up to and you can trust.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing,
Yeah.
And there will be 101 mentors out there that will be more than happy to help. I have helped so many people as well. I once gave £500 to someone, I'm sorry, I'm going to be really quick with this one.
Yeah,
I once gave £500 to another young lad from Camden.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of respect for him. He came up to me while I had my office in Euston, and he said, I want to do a magazine. It's for university students.
Okay.
Could I have £500 to publish this magazine? I gave him the £500.
Wow.
He's now head of social media for the biggest bank in the Middle East.
And he's got you to thank for it.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't have me to thank for this, but
No.
what I'm saying, it's inspiration. I mean, because at the age of 18,
Yeah.
he was going around asking people for money to run a magazine. Most people laughed at him.
No, but you helped him.
I helped him,
I've got to stop you there.
yes.
Mr. RUNU, look, it's as always a pleasure to have a guest like you here. Looking very good, by the way, and looking like a real businessman. It's a pleasure. I'm very happy, and we've got to stop it now because of the short of time. So to the viewers, again, we've learned quite a lot. What are the key aspects of business? What are the key aspects of becoming an entrepreneur? Keys to success, and we can learn from these people. Next time we will have another entrepreneur on the show, which we will be taking advice from and learning a lot from. And until then, thank you very much for joining me. Assalamu alaikum.